I am so excited to see Across the Spider-Verse when it comes into theaters in just a couple days. So in anticipation, I went back and rewatched Into the Spider-Verse, the animated movie that's often regarded as the best Spider-Man movies, if not one of the best. One of the best superhero movies, a fantastic animated film, one of the best animated films produced in an American studio. James Gunn recently listed it as his favorite superhero movie of all time. So I wanted to go back and remember for myself, is it worth the hype? Yes. Okay, I guess we can talk a little bit more about it. The pacing of the movie is phenomenal. There is not a moment that goes to waste, but it doesn't feel so overstuffed with ideas that nothing really lands. There is a central theme and character arc for a couple of the characters throughout the film. We have larger arcs for Miles Morales and Peter B. Parker as Miles, and following the main theme of the movie, is living up to expectations put on him in his academic life by his family, and family expectations, but also then being given the powers of Spider-Man and having the legacy of not only his world Spider-Man to live up to, but all of these other Spider people that he meets through multiverse shenanigans. And then we also have Peter B. Parker's plot of learning to care again after life was just rough to him after being a superhero for so long. We also have a smaller character arc for Spider-Gwen and a couple other characters as well. We'll briefly touch on my one nitpick downside of this movie, which is that Penny Parker isn't really given a whole lot of character stuff to do. The only thing that she really does is builds the new flash drive that they need, and that's not character exploration, that's just a thing she does for the plot, and they realistically could have had somebody else do that, or nobody do it. It could have just been a computer in the spider cave that they went to. And then her mech dies at the end, and it's like, I really do want to care. Penny Parker seems like a really cool character, but it just doesn't emotionally hit like the whole rest of the movie. But again, there are a lot of characters going on in here. One being not as explored as I would have liked is a nitpick, but it would have been nice to have at least one scene that then made the destruction of the mech hit a bit more, because we do spend some time on that in the finale. But back to all the positives of this, the voice acting, phenomenal. Every character is perfectly cast and acted. I especially want to shout out Miles Morales and Spider-Man Noir, who was hilarious. My friends and I, when this movie first came out, were quoting his lines for weeks, if not months. Then, of course, Spider-Ham is great, Spider-Gwen is great, Peter B. Parker is great, Aunt May is great. Just all of the voice acting in this is phenomenal. And where this movie truly, truly, truly shines, not only just in balancing all of these characters and making a coherent theme through all of this chaos and the pacing being phenomenal, but the animation and the art is top notch. So incredible. I was so glad that I got to see this movie in theaters when it came out, because seeing this art on the big screen, seeing this fantastic display of love for the mediums both of comic books and animation was just a true spectacle to behold. I'm so excited to see Across the Spider-Verse in theaters for that same reason. So when people say that this is the best superhero movie or the best Spider-Man movie, I don't think they're wrong. I think this is the best superhero movie that there is, that I have seen for sure. If you haven't seen it because you're like, I don't know, it's an animated movie, stop. Do yourself a favor. Go watch this movie. It's so good. It epitomizes Spider-Man so entirely. Stan Lee's cameo made me just swell up with emotions, especially since his passing after he recorded this, obviously. But just the journey that Miles goes on as he's thrust into a potentially world-ending situation on his first day of being Spider-Man, and having to live in and grow beyond the shadows of all of these other awesome spider people that he interacts with. What a phenomenal story that I think anybody can relate to. Well, those are some of my thoughts on Into the Spider-Verse. I was just so happy to have watched the movie again. I'm so excited to see the sequel. I don't know if it can possibly live up to the high bar that Into the Spider-Verse creates, but I expect at least great animation and fun character moments, even if the plot and the theme can't possibly be as tight and resonant as the first one was. But maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe Across the Spider-Verse will be even better. I don't know. Regardless, I'm so glad I went back and rewatched the first one because it was even better than I remembered it being. So I highly recommend that you go and check this one out. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good week.